Hello, students. Welcome to your English class. And today we are going to be working on our reading comprehension skills, student. Yesterday only I gave you the work. At the end of that chapter, there was a comprehension that I had told you all to solve. So I am sure you will be using all these skills that I'm going to be teaching you. But repetitiveness and consistency is the best way to teach and learn. So, students, in case you know it, this should be a fantastic revision. And in case you learn a new tip, don't forget to write it down for your personal reference and apply it when we are reading a comprehension. Okay, students, let's begin. Tip number one, when you're reading a comprehension, whenever you find answers to the WH questions while reading, such as who, what, where, when, why, always underline that word or that place so that you know what to come back to. Tip number two, students, try to visualize the passage when you're reading it. This will help you remember and retain that information for longer duration. Tip number three, always organize your key information in the passage in an acronym form or maybe a flowchart form to avoid wastage of time in rereading the passage. In case the passage is very long, you can always sum up that particular small paragraph as one word in the margin or next to the paragraph. That way, with that acronym or in that format, you can come back to that and not waste time reading the entire passage when you're searching for your answers. Tip number four, focus on the questions that have been asked to test your comprehension skills. If you comprehend the meaning of the question wrong, then there is no possibility of getting the correct answer. So, students, you must comprehend the question as importantly as much as you comprehend the paragraph. Comprehend means understand. Understand the question. Okay? After you understand the paragraph, it's important to spend time reading the question so that you understand the question asked. Next, students, for all the students who have a weak memory, for all, not only the students, it could be even the adults. If you have a weak memory, there is no need to panic because you do not actually have to remember the entire paragraph. You only have to remember the questions that are asked for evaluating your comprehension skills. So, after you comprehend, after you read the paragraph once, read it again twice to be sure. Then read the questions. And after that, again read the paragraph because if you are able to retain those questions in your mind, it will get very easy to comprehend their answers when you're reading the passage again because the questions are retained in your subconscious mind for a very longer duration. And while you're reading this paragraph, after reading the questions, you will automatically find yourself pausing while reading a passage as soon as you find the answer to that question very naturally. So, students, once you read the passage, read the questions and then again read the passage. Okay? Okay. Three most important areas of reading comprehension skills, student, is concentration, vocabulary, and speed. You need to have you need to be concentrated when you're reading that passage. Your vocabulary must be amazing, only then you can quickly read the passage and also understand the meaning of it, the comprehension of it. And speed will determine how quickly you are able to finish it. So, students, these were my tips on reading comprehension. The best way to improve on each of these aspects is consistent practice. And you will have to particularly focus on the areas which need more attention. If your concentration is weak, you will work on concentration. If your vocabulary is weak, you work on vocabulary. And if your speed is weak, you must start reading more. Once you are able to up your skills in your concentration, vocabulary, and speed areas, you will realize that you're becoming much better at reading comprehension. Students, today we will do a passage from your textbooks, page number 170. What's it like to be a ghost? I'm giving you all, I'm going to pause. I want you to pause the video and read this paragraph first on your own. Then we will read together. Okay? Let's do this. Pause, read, come back. So, students, I hope you all have finished reading it. We're talking about page number 170 on grammar magic. If you didn't know or you still haven't, you can still pause and go and read the passage, what it like to be a host. If you have finished, let's listen to it together.
What's it like to be a ghost? Listen to this passage and then answer the questions given in your book.
Have you ever thought seriously about what it's like to be a ghost? I bet you haven't, any more than I did. While you are still a lifer, you are generally more interested in what it would be like to see a ghost. You never think what it's like to be one of us. So now, I'm going to tell you. First of all, there aren't all that many of us who want to come back haunting after we are dead. Most of us are quite pleased not to have to bother about it. We mostly want to be left to get on with afterwards. And I'm not going to tell you what afterwards is like. You wouldn't understand. And anyway, I'm not supposed to try. The ghosts who do want to go haunting do it for all sorts of different reasons. Some of them just want to go back to places they liked while they were still alive. Sometimes it's so they can moon around and say how beautiful it all was and pretend they're still lifers there. Sometimes they think they want to see how it looks now. That can be very disappointing, especially if they leave it too long. I've known ghosts who went back to their houses or caravans or their stately homes, and there wasn't a trace of them left. It was all tower blocks or apartments or, one lady ghost told me, a supermarket. That particular ghost was sad at first, because she had lived in a hulking great castle with fields and forests and things, and when she saw it again, it was a supermarket. But she loved it after a time. She said how convenient it would have been for her to have been able just to nip down to the shops and buy what she needed when she needed it, instead of having to wait for chaps to go out and kill rabbits and deer and all that, and for the peasants to bring in the vegetables. You can't think what a lot went to waste before they invented fridges, she told me. That's about all I can tell you. I don't know why anyone hasn't thought of saying it all before. Not that there is anything new to say now. Haunting has been going on for years and years and years. I just thought you might like to have an up-to-date report. That's all.
So students, that was a fantastic narration. Now, we're going to find the words from that passage that mean the same as the following. When you visit as a ghost. I repeat, when you visit as a ghost. Second, grand. Third, huge. And fourth, latest. Students, I request you to pause, search, write, and then check when we go ahead with the answers. The first answer is haunting. First answer is haunting. Second one, grand, is stately. I repeat, stately. Third, huge will be great. Huge will be great. And fourth is up to date. Up to date. Next question, students, you have to fill in the blank by using the idea from the passage. That means you will not use the sentence as it is, you will change it and frame it in your own words. When we are alive, we are generally more interested in what it would be like to see a ghost. Three reasons the ghost want to go haunting are, and one of the ghosts who went back to her home was sad at first because, students, I want you to complete this next two because the first I have done for you. You know the drill, pause, complete, check. First answer is wanting to see a ghost. The three reasons are they like to go back to the places they liked. They like to pretend they're still lifer or they're still alive. And they want to see what their homes look like now. One of the ghosts who went back to her home was sad at first because it had now turned into a supermarket. Okay? Next is question and answer. Students, I want you to mark these answers in the passage. Who is the narrator of this passage? And give one reason for your answer. Why don't most ghosts want to haunt? What is the experience of ghosts who go back to their homes after a long time? Why did one of the ghosts love the idea of a supermarket? What reason does the narrator give for writing this passage? You all know the drill. Pause, complete the work, and then check on the next slide. Students, these answers you will write in your notebooks. You will mark right now, you will check it, and then you will write these answers in your notebooks. Who is the narrator of this passage? A ghost itself. Because in the first paragraph itself, the narrator says, you never think what it's like to be one of us. So it indicates that the writer is a ghost. Why don't most ghosts want to haunt? They don't want to be bothered with it because they want to get on with their afterlife or afterwards. What is the experience of the ghosts who go back to their home after a long time? Their houses are generally replaced by tower blocks or apartments, or in one case, even a supermarket. The ghosts find this very disappointing because they can't find anything familiar. Why did one of the ghosts love the idea of a supermarket? She imagined how convenient it would have been for her to be able to be going down to a shop and buying what she needed straight away instead of having to wait for her servants to go and kill animals and bring in the vegetables. What reason does the narrator give for writing this passage? Just to update the readers or just to give an up-to-date report to the readers. Okay, students? Now, the next one, D. You will also do that in your notebooks. That is, write a narrative, imaginative narrative, students. It's a composition about your experience when you met a ghost. In this, you will write where you met, when you met, and how you met the ghost. How you felt when you met the ghost. The conversation that you had with the ghost. Your feelings now about the conversations that you have. And remember, you will use past tense to write this. You will not say now. or in the future. It has to be something that has already happened in your past. Okay, students, with this, we have completed our reading comprehension skills. I hope you know them well now. With these students, we've come to the end of this class. Stay home, stay safe, take care, keep learning. Thank you.